Experience Karen Hunter in a completely different way. Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed. One of the other things that came out of the Super Bowl was a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger and frustration and people revealing themselves. And a lot of people had something to say about Serena Williams and her crip walk. And if they were her husband, they had all of this. If I were her man, if I would divorce her and all of this stuff. Well, one of the people was Jason Whitlock, who had something to say. And he seems to be an absolutely unhappy human being. Well, Alexis Ohanian, and somebody posted like a very unflattering picture of Serena's husband, who is Armenian. And I'm going to say, yes, he's white, but the way he flows with Armenia, just please Google search the trauma that they had to go through as people. I'm going to put that over there. But he does not play with anybody as it relates to his wife. His wife. So somebody posted a picture of him. You know, he's a tech billionaire who obviously, takes care of his wife, shows up everywhere. They have 2 children now. So Jason Whitlock had something to say. And Alexis said, some of y'all have no idea how criticized Serena was for this same dance at Wimbledon 13 years ago. And it shows. This is bigger than music, he tweeted. And Whitlock said, this is Serena's husband, a true beta. He's mad at me rather than the wife crip walking and still thinking about Drake. Simp. He called him a simp. Instead of clapping back, and I've been talking about this because we've been talking about kids being patted on the head and called monkey, and what do you do if you're called the N-word? And I'm like, I think we should use different tactics. Words are important. Here's what Alexis Ohanian said. He said, I get it. You're 57, and life didn't turn out the way you imagined. That kind of disappointment must be exhausting. You're the embodiment of peaked in high school, spending decades chasing validation from strangers through likes and digital hugs, only to find that no amount of external approval fills the void. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Criticism only fuels your victim complex, reinforcing the comforting delusion that there's some grand conspiracy against you and your quote unquote brave ideas, when in reality, you've just got terrible takes. It's a cycle. Outrage, backlash, self-pity, repeat. This is a lonely road, and there's still time to rewrite the ending, though. Start by working on yourself first. You'll find that if you wake up every morning trying to be a little better, a little more curious, you won't have time for irrational hating. You'll be too busy winning. I love that response. I think we need to frame it, and it should be on repeat.
It must be miserable to live your life being miserable. Good grief. Yes. I love it. Great response.
Yes. And I love what you're doing here at the Women's Empowerment Network, here on these airwaves.
Thank you.
So y'all follow her everywhere, Bam Cabral, but definitely tune in to Humaning Well every Wednesday. And then let Amber know how you're thinking and feeling about it. Maybe some of your comments will end up in a podcast. Who knows? Amber's doing the work out there. And say more about that. An amazing book. You're an amazing person. I appreciate you being here today.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.